And the big topic for today is South Africa's domestic system adequately preparing players for international cricket? Nono, Pongolo, Victor Mpitsang, let's get into it. You only have 5 minutes to let me know if whether South Africa's domestic system is adequately preparing players for international cricket. Let's start with you, Nono.
I think straight away, we need to be very careful how this conversation is brought up, because I think he used such a great word for me in the past where it used as talent identification. I don't think there is any domestic cricket at the moment that is fully preparing players to be ready for the international level. I feel like it's a different beast on its own. And for me, it's about identifying the players that have the potential to have a successful international career, i.e. Brevis, i.e. Luandri Pretorius. These are the guys who've shown at domestic level with consistent performances that they can possibly get a chance to play at the top. And I mean, if you look around the world right now, Australia struggling to replace some of the test cricketers because their domestic, as strong as their domestic cricket is, you still need to identify guys, give them a run at a higher level, and give them, the opportunity to be exposed and see if they can handle the next day. So I don't feel outside maybe the IPL, the players are being prepared by the domestic system.
Okay, so it has to be adequate, right? Because your South African players come from domestic cricket.
Yes.
So they need to be, so the system has to be adequate to produce cricketers to play for South Africa. It has to be, right? Whether they get the intensity of international cricket once they move into that system, it's a different question. But the thing is, so when somebody, and it's such a bad example because we cannot be comparing a Luandri Pretorius because he's still a youngster.
Yeah.
He has the taste of international cricket, but he's able to go into a test arena and score 150 under pressure. Wow, there's an awesome tick because he scored 300s towards the end of the season. The problem is if your domestic system can give you those players. Some might be experienced like a Rassie van der Dussen might be. His time comes a little bit later. Then it's not, you don't have to give him another go at SAA level. So your SAA level then becomes so important because these cricketers then play against the next best guys that will play to represent their countries. I think that's quite important. But your domestic system has to be. You mentioned the IPL. I think SA20 has been remarkable.
Yes.
And the reason why it's so remarkable is, number one, there's full crowds. Makes a huge difference. When you play international cricket, there's full crowds, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is, these guys are playing with international players. Domestic cricket, you don't get that opportunity often to play with or against the Kagiso Rabada. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't get that opportunities more often. SA20, you do that. The impact that Joe Root had with Luandri Pretorius is unbelievable. So if we can get, I know it's not possible that we can have our international players play domestic cricket all the time. But if these guys can be part of these domestic teams, it makes a huge difference.
But also, doesn't the number of games that are played in domestic cricket also filter into how ready they are to transition into international cricket?
I think it does. Look, if a guy is scoring a lot of runs, if a guy is taking a lot of wickets, if a guy is bowling in pressure situation and is making a huge impact, then you have to look at them because you look at the character of the player and how he gets the runs. When the guy gets in and not a lot is happening, but when there's pressure, the guy walks in and he scores 100. I'm going back to Luandri Pretorius. I shouldn't be going back to the under 19
well,
years old.
Yeah.
But he scores 100 to make sure that the Titans don't lose a game. They save the game. They don't lose it for their competition. That's a huge character boost for the national selectors or for the national coach.
For me, just to add to this conversation, I think it's such an important one. If you're playing a double round, for example, you go through phases. The phases where he's got a good run of form, is doing really well. What happened to this player when he dips in form? Does he have the characteristics to come back, bring themselves out of a lean period? Another thing, the conditions in South Africa will change. You might start early season, there's a bit of spice in the wicket. Okay, this player is playing well when the wickets are green. When they start to be flat, they're playing well. When they do turn at the back end, they're still being a good player. Now it's giving you a better overview of the characteristics of each player. And that's why I'm a big fan of increasing the amount of games so we get a better look. Because with 7 games, possibly playing 5 or 6 with rain games. It's
He's
not
not
enough.
giving me time.
That's
That's
not
not
enough.
enough.
That's
Give
not
me time.
enough.
It's not enough.
There's 15 seconds.
You
There's
can
15
squeeze it in.
seconds,
You
right?
can
There's
squeeze it
15
in.
seconds.
Squeeze it in.
The other thing is, always look at a player in the second season of his career,
Yes.
because that makes a huge,
Yeah. Yes.
huge difference.
Okay, you heard it
Still
from
had a
our
lot of
gents.
I had to get it in.
The
Still had a lot
buzzer
of
is
time.
even going off right now. If you also have your thoughts and opinions on the topic that we've delved into, well, make sure that you interact with us on social media. You know, our hashtag is SSCricket.